What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chiefin with Daily Dale. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonny. How you doing today, bro?
Good, good. How you doing?
Doing good. Football is back.
It's back. We all the way back. I got a preseason game on right now in my front room.
Back to it every Sundays right now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We play them all. So right here is the pregame show. So definitely gonna be diving into that today. So I'm excited. We've been on a little hiatus. No, haven't been around for a while, but I told you it'd be right back.
Right
I
back.
wasn't
Like we
lying.
never left.
I wasn't
Like we
lying.
never left.
Wasn't lying. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, like I said, it's not going to be your traditional show where we have just multiple topics today. We're definitely going to be jumping right into the preseason action that's supposed to be happening tomorrow, Sunday. Of course, it's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New Orleans Saints. Just week one of the preseason, not too much. Just getting them back out there, getting ready for live action, just getting some pass hitting, just getting prepared for this season. Our season opener is on Thursday, September 7th. So really got to get ready for those lines. That should be a tough matchup. But Lonnie, how you feel about this game coming up before we dive into a couple questions?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to see the good gauge to see where we're at as a team. See
Mm,
just kind of how we're shaping out and how things are shaping out in camp. Seeing who's shoring those spots up, seeing who kind of finalizes those spots as a starter. That barring that kind of like the middle of that line, like we're kind of where we know guys are going to come back and kind of get their spots back. But as far as like we're going to see how our wide receiver core shakes up, that's going to be fun to watch. Just several different
mm,
position battles we got going on in training camp that it's going to be exciting to see. Later in the
mm,
game, it's going to kind of like I said in this game that we're just watching with the Bears. It's kind of hard to stay paying attention to those games. I know late into them because you get into some guys that probably won't make a roster or won't make your roster, but may make someone else's roster or just be practice squad guys. So it's kind of hard to watch those players, but those can be the most important building blocks. You can find some really good key pieces there. Like I just spoke with Dale about previously, we found Justin Watson kind of in that pool of players, just in that kind of that second, third, fourth team, guys just making plays. So
mm.
that's just how it happens. And now he has a 2 year deal with the Chiefs, so it's just going to be good to see those type of guys, those type of stories. That's what comes from these type of games, preseason games. It's going to be good to see if the guys got their legs back up under them. They had a long season last year. Let's see if we can keep, like I said, keep everyone healthy. Knock on wood.
Hmm.
Everybody, keep everybody intact and get ready to play football.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. For real. I'm just excited to see it. I understand that we're not gonna see the popular starters for a long time, but just to see Patrick Mahomes and the offense back out there, seeing that defense out there as well too, who was coming together and formulating just pretty good throughout the entire season, and then through that last push where they had some great moments. So I'm just ready to see guys like that, Trent McDuffie, Brian Cook, who's gonna be a first year starter, of course, Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, also Drew Tranquil as well too. Someone I think that's going to be a big factor on that defense. So I'm just excited to see what we have, what how camp has been coming together. We know we haven't seen a lot of people like we. I know we've been dealing with some injuries and also some contract disputes as well too, where we weren't able to see everybody. However, I think it's just going to be fun. We are ready to see those red and white threads. I think they're away, right? So probably white and red threads. So we just ready to see the action back on the field. I'm very excited. Like I know I got family pictures that morning, but at the same time, I'm gonna make sure I'm back home on time.
Yeah,
So
I was just telling my girl that like too, like, yeah, hey, it's one game I need to be here for, and it's that preseason game. I'm sorry, it's just preseason. It's just to knock the rust off, but we still got to. It's Chiefs football. We need it.
yeah, I feel like the first one is always the first and third is always the most important, or I would say like the most exciting in a sense because the first game you just ready to be out there. That's the first action we have seen before the season has ended. After the season has ended, and then also the third game where they have the starters out there a little bit more, and they're trying to develop and get ready for that first game of the season. So that's going to be something that we look out for as well too, because I think typically what Reed does is, if not, I think he plays them until the second quarter, and then after that it's just really the second and third team after that. However, we know it's like a new system now to where they're going to have it to where they have that 90-man roster up until like the third game at least, and after that, that's when they have to do like a big cut. So
Yeah.
that's something that's different, and it's going to be hard as well too because really, I think that first game, those first couple games, to where you have the opportunity of cutting down, it saves you time because somebody might have made a mistake that where it's like, okay, you feel like they're not going to like be able to like sustain that knowledge and going forward, which with what you want on that 53-man roster. But throughout time, then it's like, okay, what next game they have a big game or something like that, was to where it's like, okay, you see the skill set, you see the mind, they develop it, learn from the mistakes. It's like now it's going to make it harder throughout that process of like, I like that, but I'm gonna have to let it go because I want this.
Yeah,
So
there's going to be a lot of good talent let go with this method. I feel like
mhm,
with that other method, you could kind of weed through a little bit
yeah,
better, cut the guys that you know are kind of not going to make the roster and go from there. Now you're going to have those guys that are kind of teeter-tottering on the verge of making a roster and kind of making a
hmm,
couple plays, and guys it's like, oh, I know this guy's great. I know he has potential. He may not have made as many plays, but I'm banking on that. So
yeah,
it's a little bit bigger margin for error, I think, with this way, and it's a lot of
yeah,
big margin for success as far as the undrafted and the players that get cut to have those
hmm,
stories too, because you will get found if you can make plays and you will be on the roster.
yep, yep. But let's get right into it. So, who are you most excited to see on the offense this upcoming Sunday?
Yeah, so I'm most excited to see. I wanted to see that running back position for sure. I know we had some injuries there with Pop. I don't know if Pop is going to play, but I wanted to just see if Clyde can get back in the flow of things. This is a guy that we spoke of before. This is a first round pick. This is somebody that we expect the world of, and he helped us get to the Super Bowl. We weren't able to finish, but he did help us get to the Super Bowl. So I'm really excited to see that running back position and how it's shaking up. They talk a lot about the Deneric Prince kid. I want to see how that works on kick return. I know I told you earlier. I love the now Davis aspect, but I'm not a fan of the
Big
straight
fan.
the north and south runner on kickoff return. I feel like you need more of a kind of a guy, a twitchy guy per se. We're doing that kickoff return, but I mean that's just Dave Tobes. That's his preference. So I want to see that how that shakes up. So that running back position is just standing out and it's highlighted to me. And then it's that wide receiver position. I want to see how these spots shake out. I know they had Justin Watson with that first team. So and I really just want to see how it works. And I really just specifically want to see, I want to see Justin Ross specifically just because we've heard a lot about him in camp. We've seen all of the things that he's done in camp, but we haven't seen him do it up in live game action against another opponent. Um, and it sounds like he's going to be running out there for a minute with the second team. And I'm pretty sure if he makes a couple plays, it won't be for long. So I'm really just excited to see how good he is and just really see the hype about Justin Ross, which I think the Chiefs have brought it around him, being that they brung him in and bring that the freshman that he was in Clemson and the story that he had coming out being with the injury and the major injury to the foot, having to rehab. So his story is amazing within itself. I'm just really excited to see him at that wide receiver position. And then we have a lot of different stories there. Scott Moore, who's a second year guy, that had some success late in the season with the position and also had success at punt return. And then you got guys like Richie James who were picked up in the offseason that did great in down the stretch with the New York Giants. So it's a lot of guys in that room. Rasheed Rice, who was picked up early in the second
All right,
round.
now you cheating. I
Yeah,
need to know which one, bro. Like you
yeah. So
cheating
it's
now.
just everybody. Yeah, I'm just saying. So just specifically, just like I said, the running back position for sure, right? Because
uh
it's Clyde Edward-Helaire, and I just want to hang my hat on there. I just saying it's a lot of positions. It's a lot of things that's just going on here with that. When you look at the roster, just how as far as when me and Dale analyze, this is me and just Dale talking. Me and Dale talking. We
But you gonna
analyze the
say
roster.
everybody? I'm not gonna have nobody else to talk about.
No, you are. My fault.
No,
But yeah,
I know.
it's really just Clyde Edward-Helaire. I want to see the success. Let's see if he can be successful, right? See,
Yeah,
can he redeem himself? Pop,
it's
we
only
we
preseason though.
we
That's
we
the
talk.
thing.
I know, but we talk about
It,
it, and it's only preseason, but it's important because if you really want to think about it, Clyde was the third man on the roster last year.
but
And as
the
far as the running back, position goes, and if he's the third man again this year,
But the only
They're
reason
taking Deneric Prince over him.
Yeah, but the only reason why I said that is because technically he showed you already before in his first season. We seen what he can do when he's out there healthy and he actually produces in that offense. The thing is, the only reason why I said the regular season is more important for him because I think he can find his way. Like he's gonna go out there and show like, hey, okay, he needs to be a third running back because he already understands the offense. We already have this three running back group to where we have Pacheco, McKinney, and then also added Clyde as well too. I think Daenerys is just going to try to sneak himself in there that way on kickoff. That way we can carry four running backs, right? But he's somebody to where you know what you get in the passing game as well too. He's great in the screens. He's great in open space. It's just really can you stay healthy for 17 games? I think that's what's important. We know
Yeah,
what you bring to the offense
yeah, and
because what you bring to the
absolutely.
offense, we were able to get to the Super Bowl, even though we lost in that Super Bowl, but we were able to get there. You had over 1,000 scrimmage yards that season, so we know that you can produce, and that's why I think I get irritated where I when I hear from other people because it's like, okay, you're just mad at this point that really all Chiefs running backs had a problem with when hitting a hole on those short down and distances. A lot of times they do get stopped. We are not that great in
Yeah,
short
this is
yardage
not.
game, but he's not the only person that had that problem as well too. It's just by play design as well. Y'all don't run it as often. So the offensive line sometimes does not get that push, but at the same time, you know, it's just they all have that problem that I've seen. No one has really been that great. Now Pacheco, he has some fire. He does like contact, but it's been times that he got popped and stopped as well too. But he did get one big in the Super Bowl. And I give him that. But I just think we know what he brings to this offense already. So why are we gonna trip about that?
And we do, but it's just I just want to see if he can expand his role because I feel like yes, we know what he
Mhm.
brings, but Pop is the hot back, and one thing that you don't turn away from is who's hot at the time. Pop has
That's
that
true.
position and it's on lock, so
It
you're not
is.
coming in running 35 toss pair of trap. You're not coming in and running that, Clyde. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna have to make yourself accessible another way. And one thing that you did do in college, and I reiterate this deal, is you were terrific in the pass game. If he can
Mhm.
show that he can integrate himself into that pass game somehow, I feel like he gets a spot on the roster and he makes them take on four running backs. But if
Yeah.
Clyde does not give himself another make him himself marketable in another way, like Jet McKinnon did, then I
Yeah.
feel like we got a problem. That's why I'm excited to see him. That's why I want to see
Yeah.
him. That's who I'm
Who
looking
Actually, who I'm excited to see, honestly, really is just Sky Moore because we've been hearing a lot of hype about him. We've been seeing him ball out in camp as well too. Him and Mahomes look like they have that connection. So I'm just excited to see how that all comes together. I think this is someone who, in his rookie season last year, he didn't get a good cart. Didn't get a good hand dealt to him, and it's not that he was bad in a receiving game, but having that pressure of taking on the punt returns and having trouble in that game where he had a couple muff punts, and then also that was the reason why we end up losing the game as well too, not being able to hold on to the ball. I think that kind of spiraled and then gave him some problems that first part of the season. But as time went on, we got him off of that, and he started just building his role within the offense and just being a receiver. We saw that he has great hands, he has great route running ability, and then feeding off of that, he ended the season in the Super Bowl with his first touchdown of the year. Period. So I think that's going to help him going into now. Like, hey, I can ball with the big boys. I can come up here and do my part. And then when you have that connection and you working with someone like Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the league, but not only the best quarterback in the league is your quarterback on your team, and then he likes and he depends on and he likes you and he has trust in you. It's like, all right, bet. I think that's gonna fill him up a lot more, and he's gonna be able to go out there and then show his hand and be like, "Yeah, I can honestly be a number one receiver on this team and be that guy to where I am that number one option, along with having weapons like Kadarius Tony, Justin Ross, Richie James, MVS, Rasheed Rice. You have all of that coming together, but I think he's about to show like, hey, y'all need to build you need to build some plays around me as well too, because I'm one. He can have somewhat that Keenan Allen effect, just with his route running ability. I know might feel like a stretch to some people,
for. But yeah,
but
Scott coming around.
honestly, But honestly, when you think about it, it's not like he's quick, that quick. I mean, he got some wheels. He can run. It's not like he's slow, but he's going to be more dependent on getting open with his route running, opposed to just running past somebody. So if he can finesse and show that within those games, and then Mahomes has a player of that caliber, that's just going to be phenomenal, and it's going to be a lot that Andy Reid can do with that offense. So I'm excited to see Scott Moore. I hope that he balls out this season. I can't wait to see him tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So, how many possessions do you think the starters will play tomorrow? That we're gonna make that quick.
They probably played. I think two possessions, just
Two possessions.
at least two possessions. I don't know if Andy let him play into the second quarter. He usually does that, like in the last preseason game, if
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
last
mistaken.
preseason game.
He doesn't usually let him play too long, so probably do a possession. And if he sees something he doesn't like in the first possession, anything he doesn't like, he's there getting pulled. So
Yeah.
probably just two possessions, hopefully two.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think three. I think three. I think three. I think that's solid, especially if they're quick possessions as well too. Say if they go out there score quick, and it's like, okay, it was a little bit too quick. Let's work through the offense a little bit more as well too. If that second possession probably something that is, starts at the 25-yard line, and it's like they're marching down the field. It's 75. They march 75 yards down the field. It flowed well. It wasn't like a quick possession. They actually were able to develop the offense. I think after that, that's when they be like, okay, we're good to go. We'll wait. We'll push that off to next game. I think that it will be two if that happens, if it flows right. I think if they make some mistakes, he might let them like, okay, let's go three possessions. I want to give you guys a chance to score two out of three times. That way you can feel good about it, and then we can move on and we can look at the talent that we do have. But we know that we have to get them back into rhythm. We got to get the flow back with the offense and the rhythm. We got some guys like on the offensive line that need some more work as well too, especially Donovan Smith who just joined in. He had a tough year last year, so I think and he's coming off an injury as well too. I think he got to get back into the rhythm of playing the game and being in that left tackle position. Jawan Taylor at right tackle, just get used to playing in this type of offense. You had a solid season last year with the Jaguars, but now you want to be with a high power offense who marches down the field. They're very quick, very creative. Going to be a lot of things you have to do. So he's going to have to really learn the calls that's out there, see how Mahomes control the line of scrimmage and see what the line does. They're going to have to learn that. So I feel like the line, if anything, they might play more possessions than those skill position starters, just because they might want to come together and trying to get that rhythm down before they go into the regular season. So I say two between two and three. I don't think they just do one possession and let it go. So I don't think that's right. And lastly, like I think we was talking about it a lot already when we was talking about who we are most excited to see on the offense, but the receiver group being the deepest. Who do you want to see get the most reps with Mahomes?
I
I
want to
would
see
rather
him.
prefer I would rather prefer Justin Ross because
I
we've been seeing a
would.
lot of him. Yeah,
Yeah, that's we've seen a lot of highlights of him, but it's I want to see some other guys get a shot too. I really want to see Sky get a lot of reps with him too. Like I really want if Sky is gonna and it's being that KT went down, I feel like if he's gonna make himself that number one, he needs to get a lot of reps with
hmm
Mahomes. Just in general, he needs to show that they're compatible at another wavelength and they're
yeah,
they're on the same page in another space. Being that he's in year two, so I feel like he needs to show that he gets good reps and he's getting open. He likes them. I
yeah,
just feel like I want to see Justin Ross play with him, but I don't know how many reps Justin Ross will get with him. Being that he's going to be on that second team, but I feel like if he's making a couple plays, he won't. It won't be long before he's catching passes from Mahomes too. So
yeah,
I really want to see him get some reps with him as well, just because, like you said, it's been a lot of hype around him. I know I've kind of told you his story, his backstory too in college, so I want to see him. It's time to
yeah.
see him play.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I would just like to see more of Justin Ross, just because we've been hearing about him since last season, and we saw him in OTAs last year as well too. When we saw a couple passes being thrown from Mahomes, he had that great one hand, and then he also has been having a great camp this year as well too. They said the first day was a little rough and pass, but after that he just been flowing. We've been seeing all the videos of him, doing like playing with the towel, getting his hands prepared to catch the ball, and just seeing like how much finesse he has in his game and how smooth it is. It's like, okay, this is somebody I think with a great body build that will be the perfect receiver that a lot of people been complaining about that they want to see Mahomes with. I think he has those characteristics. It was like, all right, if he can get some good reps in with him, he becomes a reliable option on the offensive side. I'm gonna love it. I feel like it will be better than what we seen last year.
And it's scary
It's
because
very scary.
Trav doesn't need he had one friend that helped him with double coverage before now,
Yeah.
and if he gets three or four
Ooh,
of them, it'll just be
baby.
he's gonna be able to his career. It's only gonna make his career longer.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. I mean, we saw a lot of tight ends play up into their late 30s, almost to their 40s. I think one of them did make it to 40s. I think I don't know if it was Greg Olsen or somebody, but yeah, I mean, if he can
Jason
keep
Witten
and
probably.
Jason Witten, actually Jason Witten. But and Kelsey's not someone who deals with a lot of injuries as well too. He has durability after his rookie season, so um, just adding those type of weapons along in that offense as well too that help him be able to stay more fresh. Even if he did take a hit in yardage this season, at the end of the day, he's someone who's going to be a reliable option in it. And once the playoffs come, we know he balls out, and he's like top two in categories with Jerry Rice in those in that sense as someone who has been dominant in the playoffs. So we know what we getting right there. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. But we've been talking about a lot of offense, so let's go ahead and jump into this defense. So with Chris Jones, of course, not playing this Sunday, who are you most excited to see on that front four?
Yep. So it has to be George Karlaftis. George Karlaftis. He's a second-year player out of Purdue. We also spent the first round pick on him and Mr. Trent McDuffie last year. I'm really, really excited to see what type of pressure he's getting. See if he gets any pressure at all. That's not to say he has to, because we don't. We know we're running basic stuff. We're not running. Probably I don't know if Spags is mixing it up like he usually does, but I just want to see what he's doing. I want to see if he's getting pressure. I want to just see how that pass rush is looking minus Chris Jones and minus Charles Omenihu. Is Charles Omenihu playing these games? All right,
Nah,
suspended.
he they get to play in the preseason. He just
Okay.
can't play the
Well,
first six regular season
well,
games.
yeah. And I just I just want to see it because it's gonna have to be able to sustain minus Charles Omenihu. So we're gonna lose some power there. And let's face it, we lost Frank Clark. So we lost a pass rusher. Now he wasn't there all the time, but he was there enough. And when he was there, it was felt. So I feel like George has to let that be shown that I can be that everyday starter. I can be that guy that comes in and holds it down here on the edge. Me and Mike Dana, and we can have success here at the edge position, and still be successful as a team, and still be able to stop the run, and not have those problems there, and still be able to get sacked. So I'm really, really excited to see George Karlaftis on that front four.
Honestly, I feel like I know what I'm gonna get from George Karlaftis. I feel like he's gonna make a jump this season anyway. I want to see what Felix and DK Uzama can do, especially because we spent the first round on him this year at the edge position. We know that we're trying to build that position back up as well too. If we can have two solid defensive ends this year, who is great with pass rush, but not only pass rush, but is good in the run game as well too, where they're disciplined. I think we'll have something going right here. But along with Felix, I want to see Charles Omenihu. I want to see what we're going to be missing for those first six games in the regular season. I want to see what he will be able to bring alongside Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Felix, Dana, all of them. I want to see how it comes together because this is someone that they said had the potential over there with the 49ers to really be dominant. And I feel like we got someone who can really bring that presence and bring more to the defensive front than what we seen last year. With him being able to be diverse like that and play that hybrid to where he could play in the inside and the outside, I think that's added depth that we needed just because we can move that front four around everywhere. Of course, guys like Noddy and Wharton will be primarily in the inside, but we know we have Chris Jones and also many who in situations where we want that phenomenal and dominant pass rush, we know we can put them out there on the outside and get something out of them. So I want to see what we're going to be missing, but also see what we're going to be getting back in that late push in the season as well too. And I think it's going to be fun. So I'm looking out for Felix and also Charles Minhill as well too. Anyone else?
No, but
You know,
well, yeah, I wanted to say Felix. Yeah, I want to look and see what Felix looks like. But we think George is gonna make that big jump, and we've seen this before with Braylon Speaks. So you
he
think
just
people?
signed to the
I know
49ers,
he
so
just
that's
signed to the
funny.
49ers. Shout out Braylon Speaks, but you think people make the big jump, and not all the time they do. Now
I
George
think
did
he's
so.
a
Now George did show great promise. He got sacks late in the season. He even got a sack in that playoff game. He was showing up when it really meant the most. So being that he was able to have success, and I feel like those high pressure situations, that shows that he has a different type of character and a
but
different
what
type of.
speaks here when we had Sutton though?
Speaks was here when we had no. I think that was Veach's pick actually. I really want to tell you, I think that's Veach. Veach picked him.
But Veach, I think Veach was there when Sutton was there that last season in 2018. I
He
don't think
was, he was, but it's still
so.
he still picked him
But yeah, he still picked him. But
because
I was more so saying just because we still had. I think we still had Justin and Tama at that time. That was their last season because we ended up letting Justin Houston go. Tama ended up going into retirement afterwards. But we was in that 3-4 scheme to where he was pretty much a linebacker. You had him in coverage sometimes as well too.
yeah,
We're back in that 4-3 defense to where he would have been an edge rusher for sure. He would have hand in the ground
hand in the
all the
ground
time.
edge rusher.
We
Yeah,
saw what he was doing in the USFL as well too. But
yeah,
I
he had a
mean,
lot of
I don't
success.
think he was. I don't think he's not a big miss for us or nothing like that. But I think George Karlaftis, he got picked into the right system. He's not having to worry about going out in coverage and stuff like that. He's primarily focused on attacking the quarterback or setting the edges. That's pretty much it. And I think that makes it easier for your job opposed to having to play the duties of a linebacker as well too. Even though you're going to be predominantly a pass rusher, and they're going to use you in that sense. But yeah, I think that's where it kind of messed him up at, and then he in his weight as well. You know how we talked about the stature of like a defensive end. Now those guys are just not bloated or big or anything like that. These guys are slim, they're tall, but they have a lot of muscle as well too, and they have quickness. If you don't have that on the edge, you're not going to be successful in this game, in my opinion. You can say something different. Everybody can. That's just my honest opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I'm fine because I'm not expecting Carl Atkins to be a 15 sack person yet. I'm honestly hoping to get like 10, 11 with those batted balls, those pressures,
See, but look, and
setting
this is my
the edge, and stopping the run.
my
Things
only
like
argument with you about that is I am expecting him to be a 10 sack guy. You know why?
I said I'm not
Because
expecting him to be 15. I
well,
said I want
well,
him to be 10, 11.
oh well, yeah, but we can even say 15 because he was a first round pick. Chris
But
Jones
he was
wasn't
a
a Chris
project. But
Jones
he was a
wasn't even a
project.
first round pick.
But
And Chris Jones puts up number, and this is a conversation for another day. But
he's an
it
interior
it's
defensive tackle.
he definitely is,
Yeah.
and it's even more reason because he's getting double more than anybody, right?
But at the same time, those positions you gotta think when we're drafting in the later part of the draft, those like last four spots, like
Dale,
28 over to 32. I mean, we can call them first. It's just because they're first rounds, but
yeah,
honestly, those guys that we're
it's
expecting, they're in the top 10.
yeah,
So
it's like
he is
second
really a
round.
project player in my eye. I
He's
mean, I'm not expecting you to be like a 3 to 4 year plan. I mean, after that season, let you get your feet wet. We ready. I'm ready for you to hit the ground running that next because we got like we just did now. We let Frank Clark walk.
yeah,
So yeah, it's time
it's
for you to step up. But that was your chance to learn and get all that together. And you've been working with uh guys like Tom Bahali in the offseason as well too. It's no
yeah,
excuse in my opinion.
yeah, that's true.
Mhm. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just me though. That's just
Well,
me.
I'm just saying, I expect my expectation is for George to become that guy, especially when you're going through. And I don't want to like step on no toes because we haven't talked about it yet, but especially when you're going through contract disputes like you're going through right now, it's gonna be imperative that you have guys that are you're drafting, and this is just for everyone that's watching to step up, and they have to step up big time because the writing on the wall is if everybody ain't seeing it, it's on the wall.
Yeah.
If it don't go and happen before training camp, it's over. It's not happening, and he's gonna walk. So, and you got to have people. You got to have players that are ready to step up and ready to fill that void. That's a big void to fill. So, with
Mhm.
that being said, I feel like George and Felix and whoever else is signed, Charles, he'll be here for 3 years. It's on them to step up, and they're going to have to show that they can possibly fill that void whenever it comes.
We'll see. But I mean, I said I'm expecting 10 11, you want 15. So if he even get in the middle of that of 12 and a half to 13, I
Yeah,
think that's a win.
I'm
That's a
on my man.
win.
And he's probably in a defensive player, some type of conversation if
I
he
mean,
gets up there.
I don't think that will warrant a defensive player of the year because the elite guys like Nick Bosa and them they can get around 20 for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
So they're going to be in talks automatically along with forced fumbles and everything like that. I just want someone that's reliable on the edge to where our offense is dominant, right? But we have a defense that makes stops when needed. They get sacks in big moments to where it puts the pressure on that opposing offense. We're here to win championships. We're not looking to have just the best of the position to where you have eye candy that you can look at every Sunday. I just want you to be able to produce and add needed value to the defense like I want to see. That's about it.
absolutely.
That's all it is for me. But we could talk about that all day. Let's move on to the next one. So Brian Cook, he being a first year starter. How you think he's gonna play in his first game, being a starter
Yeah,
this season?
I like Brian Cook. Sixes look good. I think all camp. And
Hmm.
six made some great plays down the stretch too. I think just helping, communicating. I just feel like he was ready. Last year
Hmm.
he came from a defense too, and Cincy,
Yep.
the Bearcats were he was kind of
They was in
captain
the final four,
on that
right?
defense. Yeah, they were in the Final Four.
Yeah.
He also played that safety hybrid linebacker type position in Cincy, and he covered a lot of tight ends. He was good at what he did at Cincy. So I feel like he's a natural born leader. I'm really excited to see him. I feel like he'll develop and hopefully one of my favorite players. I love the guys at those safety positions. The Badger was one of my guys when he was here. I know he went on that run. He almost won a DPOY too. He was going crazy. I'm really really excited to see number 6 and how he plays. I think he will be great. And just from what I seen in the camp, I know it's just him sometimes covering air, and then him covering people that's not always in pads. But I want to see what he looks like against other competition. But I'm really excited to see him, and I think he'll be great.
I think he's gonna be what we wanted Juan Thornhill to be. We know because Juan Thornhill had that ACL injury that set him back, which is why he ended up having to walk because we just were seeing not the same person we saw that first season in his rookie year. But Brian Cook, he had a decent rookie year. Of course, he didn't get a lot of playing time, but he did get in the moments that was needed. And then especially when they got rid of Fitton as well too, when we traded him over to the Falcons, and we needed more DBs out there. We had to really utilize what we had in that secondary. I start seeing the growth, and you saw it in the playoffs as well too. You first saw it in the AFC Championship game, and then you see him make a couple plays in the Super Bowl as well too. Of course, that offense for the Eagles, they had a solid outing, but I saw some decent hits. He's someone who's not scared to take contact, and I just feel like the growth of what happened from last year to this year is going to be important, and I think we're going to see that. And now he has the opportunity. I think he has the durability to really stay in there, and if he keeps on getting those needed reps, he's going to be fine as well too. And then you got someone you brought in as well with Mike Edwards, who not only can take some of that off his plate to where it's like, okay, we still have a veteran that we can utilize as well too, but you are our number one option that we want out there in those in that time. He just, we work with a lot of DBs. We like switching in and out. We like putting more
Rotate.
bodies out there. We like the rotation. So I think he's put in a good position to where he's not going to be forced to really have to stand out as a leader. I think he can still be saved in a sense, but we're able to put him out there and be like, hey, like just you know, go, 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 get it in. And then it just builds up and it keeps building up and it keeps building up. And then I think he'll be fine after that. So I like it. I love it. He has had a great camp. Um Hopefully, now they don't have to worry about Travis Kelsey punching on him. But now they can get some real action with other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So it's gonna be fun. I'm ready to see what he got. But like I said, I think he's going to be in the position that they want to want Thorhill to be in, and I think he's going to be able to succeed. So I like what I'm seeing from that. But I mean, I guess since we right here on it, that the next thing was who are you most excited to see in the secondary? I just put it out there right now, Trent McDuffie. I like the mic'd up. I've been like it feels like he's on it with
By the
communication
way,
out there
y'all, he's
talking.
been the biggest Trent
Yeah,
McDuffie fan since we
yeah.
drafted him. because we just said we were just so saying that he was kind of undersized. We didn't see him play a lot. The sample size was small, but Dale has been a very big advocate for Trent, and Trent hasn't done nothing but be a professional since he came into the league. But you can continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just,
that's it.
just, just
That's
hyping you.
that's pretty much it. Like I think everybody already know. Like I go out to bat for him all the time. I mean, he's not scared to tackle. He has a very high tackle rate, even for the size that everybody talking about. His cover skills is very good. It's like he sticks with hit with the opposing receiver. So he's not scared of those big moments. I know we saw in the Super Bowl game where he couldn't get his head around and see AJ Green, but what I'm talking about is what I saw right there. All he had to do was just position his head in the right in the right position. He
And he
could have
might
got
have
that
picked it.
pick.
Yeah,
He could have got a pick. But
yeah.
it's okay, and nobody gonna make an excuse about it. But that's something you will learn from. But honestly, he's there, and he looks like he goes for the ball as well too. So it's just once he get it together, he become like he's been a professional, like we said, but you still gonna learn as well too. It's all gonna come together, and I feel like it's gonna come together for them. I like what we're doing when we have all the young guys out there. We got Hill, we got Jalen Watson, we got Sneed, we got Williams, we got a lot of those guys out there. We the Nick Jones in the world who's been balling out as well too. Shamari Connor, they're ready to see him. I think we really got a this probably the most comfortable I've seen in the secondary than I've seen in recent years. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Exactly. So, and yeah,
Huh.
that leads me into who I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Nick Jones. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't even him at first before you started talking, but I'm like, yeah. I sent Dale some clips of him. Like, Nick
Yeah.
Jones has been the truth. If you haven't seen this guy's training clips,
Yeah.
go find them immediately. I'm telling you, he's looking like he is going to be another L'Jarius Sneed. He was a late round guy. I don't know if he's a sixth or
Balling
seventh round
out.
guy. He's balling out of Ball State. So, I'm really excited to see him. See if he can come in and really. I want to see if he gets some ramp with the first team. See if if he's making those same plays on second team as well. And another guy I'm really excited to see is Joshua Williams. I know Josh struggled sometimes last year, and he was picked on. He was the one out of the group that I feel like that was picked on the most, but it came back to bite him in the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Josh is the one that's gonna have to kind of show he's not that one anymore. Go a different way. He's going to have to get them away from him. And I feel like this is the season where he shows that he's a bigger body guy. I'm
Yeah.
that bigger body guy. I'm that guy that you're not going to throw against. Your corner, your slot receiver is not getting out of here. He's going to get jammed up. The timing is going to be off. It's not going to be good when he's coming this way. So I'm really excited for Jay Will, man. Joshua Williams, he'll be number 2 now, and I'm really excited to see number 31, Nick Jones. I'm really excited to see it just because he's had great success against some guys, some good guys in training camp, to the likes of Trav and some other guys. So Nick is really showed that he can come out here and ball out. He's a smaller guy too, so I'm just really excited to see what he can do.
Yep. We'll see. It all happens tomorrow. That's gonna be the start of it, and then right after that, it's gonna be picking up, picking
Picking
up,
up, boom,
picking up, picking up. Because once the season start, once
it's
we get this
rolling,
first league of action, it's rolling.
rolling
And as soon as you know, we be in week 10.
on week 10.
But the last thing I want to discuss before we get out of here today, I had to talk about Chris Jones. He been showing out on social media too much. Lonny was scared to actually talk about this on here. You think this was going to run him away? Honestly, I don't care. But I'm a Chris Jones fan. If he's going to leave, he's going to leave. But what are your thoughts about this right now? If it's like honestly, a lot of this stuff has been picking up. We've been seeing posts like subliminals, just funny, just things that I would be disappointed at if I was owning the Chiefs and being a GM like Brett Beach. It's like, man, you making this kind of hard for us to even want to go to bat for you. And recent pictures with Michael Bay as well too, talking about quit the team. I think that's just I don't know what's going on. But Lonnie, what's your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I all I can say is I hope everything works out for the best with Chris and the team. We all know how these contract disputes go, and it does come a point in time where a player outplays their contract, and unfortunately, I feel like this is the situation that we're at with Chris. And I feel like he's felt that he's outplayed it. And respectfully, I just want to
He
say
did.
myself,
He
I feel
did.
like he did outplay the contract. And I say that to say, everything still has to be. You should do business the right way, and I feel like the Chiefs do business the right way for certain
And people don't
players,
like it.
uh, and it's for certain players. And I feel like Mahomes got a lot of money, and they paid a lot of monies, and I just feel like certain numbers for certain players are just not met sometimes. And unfortunately, in this situation, I feel like Chris is asking for a number that is not astronomical, but I just feel like it just won't be met. This is the dilemma here, y'all. Chris is great. He made a lot of plays in the playoffs down the stretch for us. He didn't have a career sack coming into the playoffs or anything
Until
um,
last year.
until last year. So he made great playoff plays down the stretch and key moments of the game. You're talking about the sack on Burrow in the fourth quarter to seal the game, and then you want to talk about just making plays just all through that postseason, and let alone all through the season, the type of year he had. So Chris Jones is at the top of his game. The person that was at the top of the game before Chris Jones got to the top of his game was Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, me and Dale did some research. He got about $30 million a year ago, right? So, being that Chris is at the top of his game, and Chris is playing the same position as Aaron Donald, we have a dilemma now. And then you have people coming in after um, Mr. Aaron Donald, like Quentin Williams, who gets $25 million, and then you got a guy in the name of Cam Jordan who gets $27 million. So the number is only going up for the Chiefs from here.
Well, Cam Jordan's a DN though, so
Well,
keep
and
that in
Cam
mind.
Jordan is a DN, and this is my dilemma here with that too, right? And this is why we were just talking about this before. Andy Reid's system is designed to make players play a lot of their positions, and he wants you to be kind of positionless. Only thing that you do, and this is for younger players that's listening to this podcast too. Anytime you add anything to your arsenal, you're only adding it to your arsenal. You're making yourself more marketable.
Yeah.
So only thing Chris did is market himself. Not only can he market himself as a defensive tackle, but when he made them plays in the AFC Championship, what position was he playing? He was playing defensive end. He wasn't
Mm-hmm.
playing defensive tackle. So he cannot. Not only can he market himself as a defensive end, he can market himself as a defensive tackle too. So
Yeah.
now he has the right to ask for that $30 million because I'm marketing myself as not only am I marketing myself as a DN, I'm marketing myself as a defensive tackle too.
I'm a jack of all
So
trades.
I'm a jack of all trades, and it's unfortunate that we got to this situation, but it's not to the fault of Chris Jones, and it's not to the fault of anybody else. It's kind of just the system that he's in, what we've asked him to do over a period of time. But we come to this point in time with every player where players outplay their contract, and
And
this is the
he
situation that we're in.
and
He's
he is the
outplayed his
Chief.
deal.
He's the Chiefs defense. I don't care what nobody said. He's the Chiefs defense. Like we got great surrounding players that is great as well too, and that really make phenomenal plays. But Chris Jones is just that guy that you can always put the postseason on him with the sack totals and all that. But he does have one of the most pressures in the postseason as well too. Along with he has been great in a regular season. And you can't get to the postseason without having a great regular season and making plays there to be able to have the chance to play in January and February. So it starts there as well too. But I just come here to say and tell people as Chiefs fans, don't be mad at him.
Can't.
Now you can be mad, and I will say this, and I'm just going out record to say this. You can't be going on Twitter and doing all this female stuff though, bro.
Can't.
And I'm gonna be real about it. I don't like that, and I've been saying it from the get go. You
That's
can go
true.
see me saying on there as well too. I know what you are, and I'm for your money. But right now, doing all this, I love you, KC. All this other stuff, doing those other things, putting out
Yeah.
there like you really mad about your contract talks, bro. Keep that to yourself, because really, as fans, we not here doing this and coming. Some, I'm not gonna lie, some stop pocket watching. Stop doing that. Stop comparing your job to what they do in the NFL.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the
I don't
same.
care. Yeah, some of our jobs are very important, but we're having this problem. We're seeing what's going on with CT and everything. They gotta make up for this, longevity afterwards as well too.
Yeah.
We know they plan for our entertainment of the game. So
And
pretty much, I'm just saying all this to say, like, hey, let's just calm down. Let Brett Beach and company do what they have to do. Let Chris Jones and his management team do what they have to do. We just need to watch the process of how this go on. If this is his last season in Kansas City, I'm gonna enjoy it. let's just go win a Super Bowl. Let's get it done. I'm there for it. And I
And,
think, yeah, so
and
that's
I
how I
say that,
feel.
and I say that we may be seeing it here. We may not. And I say to those people that do pocket watch, hey, this is like you working the job your whole life, and then they telling you, no, we're not giving you a raise. You stay right there, or you can go somewhere else.
Hmm.
You're gonna go somewhere else if you work
Yeah,
there forever and you feel like you deserve a promotion and a raise. So it's
yeah.
just
Play with us for
it's the
7
same
seasons.
thing. It's the same thing. He's been here forever. He's worked his tail off, and before our very eyes, he showed who he can be. He
And,
showed the success that he's had. He's led us to some of the greatest successes that we've had as far as defense. Like he said, he's been the captain of our defense.
and he
So,
said he gonna play out. He gonna play out his
so
contract too.
yeah,
It's just like he's not
and he'll
gonna come
play
to
out his
camp and
deal.
stuff until like that.
Yeah,
That's all.
he's not, and he won't come out. He won't come to camp, but it is going to be what it's going to be. The deal's not, like I said, if the deal doesn't, it's not. If it doesn't get done, it's not going to get done, y'all. And this is just how it's going to end with Chris Jones, unfortunately. And when you make big deals with quarterbacks and you sign big deals, you have to be able to build for the long term. So you have to be able to
Yep.
draft good because this is going to happen. This is
Yep.
not going to be the first person this happens to, I promise. And I'm sorry that it might have to happen again. I'm apologizing early, but you got guys like Carl Athens, you got guys like Charles, you got guys like Dana, you got guys in there that have to step up. This is where you have to have those
Yep.
guys that can show that they are talented. They did get drafted to the NFL for a reason. So
Yep.
it's gonna be pivotal that we see those guys show up. And like I said, dudes like Carl Athens make that jump. Dudes like Felix make that jump because the writing is on the wall, guys, and it ain't gonna get no easier from here.
Yep.
When you losing 10 sacks, it's not easy. I'm telling
At
you now,
all.
you can go from the best defensive line in the league to the worst. We've seen the Chiefs without getting sacks before, so
Hmm.
we don't want to go through that again. So we'll see how it goes, like you said, and we wish him the best. So,
Yep.
and I don't, and just for the last part, I don't think he's gonna get traded. I don't see Beach unless something just goes totally south. I don't see it happening just because he's not. It's not because
I
I
think
don't.
it's too late.
He can't
I
get
think
anybody
I
in
think it's
to
too.
replace him. Who
I
we
think
gonna
it's
get
too
to
late.
replace him? It's
No,
not.
I think no.
Or even if it's
I'm
picks, even if it's a pick package, like you said, it's too late. It's not. We not. Yeah.
bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be if anything, we probably missed out on our opportunity in anything.
Yeah.
So
It's just over.
enjoy this last season, if
Yeah.
anything, or we get, or they resign, or
Yeah.
they resign,
One of the two, yeah.
right?
And the deal can still
Yeah,
get done. We talking like it's over
yeah,
already. We shouldn't be doing that because it's only preseason week 1. But it's I'm just telling. I just wanted to. We kind of address things before they happen, and this is just for people that's watching the show and how me and Dale talk. Because y'all gonna get into real talk now. We talking pregame and it's real Chiefs spiel now. So we gonna get into it before it happens. We see the writing on the wall.
yeah.
We know what's going on. We not blind to nothing. So
Gotta start learning these patterns of what happens.
yeah,
And it's like I think they just held it out as long as possible because the difference is with Tyreek Hill and Chris Jones is your quarterback of the defense essentially. Basically, he's the best person that we have. So you take him away from the defense, then we back to being mediocre or above or below average. Opposed to leaving Tyreek Hill, your offense was still built around Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and those other surrounding factors as well too, along with having the best caller in the game, Andy Reid. So
okay,
that's the difference that you
it's a
have in that
difference.
situation. That's why they are trying to fight to have him and keep him on his defense right now. 7 seasons. He had a solid 7 seasons as well too. Never dealt with injury. From my knowledge, he always avoided that. Uh, I, yeah, that's pretty much all.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
always had a love for the town.
And pressure,
Yeah,
another thing too is pressure. Front forward pressure helps your secondary. They don't
yeah.
got to cover as longer,
You don't want to.
as
You don't want
long.
to lose
So,
that,
and with Chris
especially
Jones
having
there,
young
you got to
rookies
get it
too.
out.
And you
So,
got young rookies too.
yeah,
But yeah, we go about this forever. But that's all we have for this episode of Chiefin with Daily Deal. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. KC Sports Company on KC Sports Company on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, make sure to follow me on my social media platforms: Facebook, Dale Fowler Jr., Twitter, Dale E. Fowler, which you see in the handle right now, and also Instagram, Daily_Dale39. And then with Lonny, his handle right there, that's his Instagram handle __ Lano, and then also Twitter handle __ Lano LONNO __ But yeah, we'll come back with it. It's been a while. We ready to get back to it. The
back
season
to
is
it.
here. You already know we're gonna have more pre games. We're gonna have post game talk as well too. And also we coming with some live shows that's coming very soon. So
I
make
see the
sure you
shirt.
be tapped in. Y'all see it. We back.
We
We
back.
back.
We back.
We back. All right, we'll talk to you on the next show.